What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. I'm going to have to backtrack just a little bit, because I've come on here and I've yelled and screamed about Italy being the most corrupt when it comes to sports, when it comes to football, the FIGC. Well, it ain't just Italy. We got to talk about all of European football is corrupt, as well as Juventus. Do they have their eye on one man to lead the club in the future, as well as other moves that they're looking in the Mercado? Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today it is Thursday, May 26, 2023. And of course, I've got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every single day. Before we do anything though, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, punch that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. If I could incline you so, if you want to help support me, do me a favor, go over here right now. I'm just doing this drop real quick. Over here, Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast channel. Hit that subscribe button. Just punch that subscribe button for me just once. You just got to do it once, just one time. You'll be entered in to win a Bianconeri Zone shirt. I'm not wearing it today. Shout out to our guys from Melbourne. I'm wearing their shirt today. But usually I'll be wearing the Bianconeri Zone zebra head logo shirt. Once we get to 100 subscribers, doing a giveaway there on the channel that we'll be giving away probably to one of you guys that'll be over here. We appreciate your support. Go ahead and do that right now. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the news of the day. First up, this one's painful for me to even be honest, but let's go ahead and throw it up there. We talked about it a little bit the last couple of days, and let's talk about one guy who could be staying with the club. Is he the captain? I hope not, but reports from Nico Schiella and others that have corroborated this, Juan Cuadrado has given to Juventus his availability to reduce his salary to stay at Juve, which are reflecting to change plans for the Colombian fullback and have reopened talks about a one-year extension. Why is this necessary? Why does Juventus need to continue on? I get it. No Europe, no whatever. We sit in our pit of misery. Doesn't mean you need to throw some fire and some oil into that pit of misery as well. We don't need more Juan Cuadrado. I'm sorry. It's fun. It's great. I get it. He can be fun in the videos and stuff like that. Kind of like Pinsolio getting his extension. He doesn't really do anything for the club, but he's been there. But at this point, Juan Cuadrado, his best days are behind him. He's not offering anything for the club. When he is playing, he's usually making game-breaking mistakes and things that I don't need to see him playing for Juventus for another season. The best thing for all parties to do is go their separate ways. Give the young guys more opportunities. Don't give guys like Juan Cuadrado more time and more money. I don't care if it's a pay cut. We don't need to do it. All right. That's my spiel on Cuadrado. Moving on, though. Talk about this corruption that's been going on. Well, if you didn't know they were corrupt already, if you didn't know that things were going to be skewed against Juventus, well, you forgot that the man in charge of UEFA is, of course, Ceferin, who was the godfather of, I believe, Agnelli's child, which, of course, they have a great relationship. And then everything that happened with the Super League, and now you've got where Juventus is sitting in. Agnelli is no longer, at least when it comes to Andrea Agnelli, he is no longer in charge of the presidency of the club, but at the same time, we are paying for the sins of the father and of everybody else involved. Though I'm going to be honest, when it comes to the Super League, I'm still full steam ahead, all aboard. Bleep UEFA, bleep Ceferin, bleep everybody else involved. Gazzetta Sport is reporting that UEFA is surprised with the stands of the new board on the Super League and are thinking about banning the club from Europe for more than 1 year. I believe you meant stance, not stands. But yes, when it comes to this, I think they're surprised. They thought maybe without Andrea Agnelli, without his leadership, without everything involved, that maybe Juventus would bend that knee and go right back in line as they would like to see Juve do. Get back in line, bow at the altar of UEFA and the Champions League and the Champions League trophy and that stupid song that everybody likes to sing and dance and do stupid videos about. I'll be honest, I want to win the Champions League. I don't give a damn about the song. I don't. But anyway, yeah, Juventus could be out. I won't have to hear it anyway. I won't have to hear the song because UEFA won't be playing it potentially if UEFA have their way for at least one more season. So that could be 2 years. And I'm talking about 2 years of destructive force when it comes to the club, when it comes to money that's bringing in, when it comes to the players that will be vacating the club. Like we already know that the players will be vacating more than likely this season. It's not a good look. It's not a good, it doesn't pretend good things for the club. And it is very, very infuriating just to see the level of pettiness and the level of corruption when it comes to let's say UEFA, but Europe as a whole. I guess the legal system doesn't matter. Nothing matters. There's no, it's all petty bitterness is what they're allowed to spew into your sports. And that's what annoys me the most. Let's move it on though. Let's go ahead and talk about trouble for Allegri as he currently stands when it comes to potentially returning to be the coach of Juventus. As we all know, we're all ready to move on. But for weeks, for months, people have backed him up saying Max Allegri will be the club, the leader of the club. He will be the coach for the next season and moving forward because of his contract and everything that goes along with that. Well, he may have stepped in a little bit as El Giornale is reporting that John Elkann was not pleased with Allegri, talking about possibly not winning next season after the Empoli game. And that's what I needed to hear. I know that doesn't pretend good things for us, but at the same time, him saying that and stepping in it and maybe rubbing Elkann the wrong way and Elkann being like, it's time to move on, time to do better. We can't have coaches that are making excuses, and we can't have coaches that are willing to settle for failure. And not winning when it comes to not being in the top four for Juventus is failure. I don't care if in the end the reason the points didn't add up were because you got deducted by a penalization that is frankly BS. At the same time, you're Juventus. You should be beating Napoli as well. So if you're in the top spot, if you win the league at the same time, if you have that many points, you're still good to go. Again, they probably make it somehow 20 points or something like that because that's what Italy and that's what they all do. But at the same time, Juventus should be winning the league, at least competing to win the league each and every season. They did not do that this season. All right, let's continue to move on, though, and talk about potential replacements for him. Well, the rumors are out there when it comes to one guy, and one guy especially. Igor Tudor with Sport Italia is reporting that he will leave Marseille. It is his decision at the end of the season. Has had a fairly successful coaching career since leaving Juventus and has been a guy that's been rumored out there with multiple jobs for right now, at least in the current day. But going off of that, there are also reports by Corriere Torino that Juventus have already contacted Igor Tudor as well. There's other names, obviously, that are also being floated out there. We'll see which ones actually come to fruition. But Igor Tudor seems to be pretty high on that list. Obviously, when he was coaching under Pirlo, there were some issues or some conflict going on there. I wonder how much he was hindered because everything else has seen shown that he's a damn good coach and could be a damn good coach at Juventus. I'm not putting my hand in the ring when I say that. I'm not saying that's the guy I'm backing, but that's a name that at least interests me enough to listen for a second. Going off of that, some things we will have to do are listen to potential replacement names, not only for the coach, but also for players. One of the things that have been rumored out there is that with Juventus not making the Champions League, that they would be having to move on a guy like Dusan Vlahovic. Potential suitors, as in Chelsea, have been coming forward, and they haven't met yet, but those are names that are probably going to be interested in getting the player. Tuttosport, though, is reporting that Juventus are willing to consider offers of at least 80 million euros for Vlahovic, a figure that would allow them to move for a replacement. The targets remain of Højlund. Morata can come back. Dear God. Morata can come back, I guess. And then Scamacca. I'm not really going to give my strong opinions on any of the successors to Vlahovic, as Scamacca is a name that's been linked for a long time. Morata has a history. We need to do, I guess, the third round of Morata at this point. Then Højlund's another name that's been out there. But when it comes to Vlahovic, I'd hate to see Vlahovic leave this quickly and be honest, him leave and really have kind of failed at Juventus. If we're being real, he did. Yeah, he did. He came on, him and Zakaria came in back in January, over a year ago, and kind of got our hopes up, got us excited with the goals they were scoring. But since then, it's just kind of like, I don't know if it's the Allegri bug, if he just whittled them away and regressed them to the mean that he kind of does with Juventus players. And that Juventus has done it the last few seasons, if we're being honest, even without Max Allegri at the helm. But at the same time, when it comes to this, Dusan Vlahovic has not been the goal scorer. He has not been filling up the stat sheet like I really hoped that he would be for the club. He's done it obviously for Serbia, but hasn't been doing it here. You've heard the comments from Camiso, kind of like tongue-in-cheek laughing at, well, not even tongue-in-cheek, just laughing at Juventus and his struggles so far. I don't want to put it all on Vlahovic, though there's got to be something going on there for the reasons that he hasn't been as successful as we were hoping. If he does move on, wish the best for Vlahovic, though I imagine there's also been reports that the club are very intent on keeping him, so we'll see what happens from there. Though, Milik has been almost just as good or better in spurts throughout the season, which I never thought I would have said a year ago. Then finally, the last comments out there, we're talking about Serbians. We talked about one going out, maybe one coming in, and this is a guy that has been linked with the club since we've been doing the channel and even before then. And of course, we got to talk about it. Il Messaggero is reporting, and of course, obviously with the source, but Savic will leave Lazio at the end of the season with the price dropping down to 30 million euros, close to the only offer that came in for him as of now is that of Juventus, who I guess they know the idea that Juventus had put in 25 million euros. I guess that's, fine, sure. I'll believe you. If Juventus, if they make a move for him, obviously you're getting him for cheaper than you would have last year, much cheaper. But at the same time, if you can get a guy like Milinkovic-Savic, I'm here for it, though there's other pieces that we're going to need to work with, that we're going to need to fix as well. So I guess it just depends how much money we're working with, given the budgetary constraint we're going to be having without having Champions League, without having any money that comes in from Serie A, or better money coming in from, top 4 spots in Serie A, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see. I would like to see the entire playlist. Right now it's list season. That's what it is. It's list season. We're going to give you all the names out there, and then we're just going to throw whatever they can against the wall. And there's one thing we know: nobody knows anything in the end. But we'll keep an eye on Milinkovic-Savic. As of now, it hasn't even started yet. That'll do it for this edition of the news, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. And like I said, if you want to support me, go jump on to the other channel, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Hopefully that one can be a little bit more source of an entertainment and fun than right now Juventus has been, unfortunately. But that'll do it. If you would like, follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. I guess maybe Instagram if you want to as well. I'm starting to open that back up. And if you would like to follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve. Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to the old lady for me.